Greetings everyone and welcome to Storytime with Rob. If you see this monument right here behind me, this is Fort Utah. So Brigham Young sent settlers down here to settle Provo, Utah. And I'm going to tell you that my history is deep on both sides of mine and my wife's side of the family. In 1849, they sent settlers down here to settle this area, which is now Provo. We know it as BYU, Provo, Utah, Happy Valley, whatever you want to call it. But my great-great-great-grandfather, Daniel Vincent, came from Wales, and he joined the church early on, traveled as a young boy over the seas, joined the church, and when they were set in Salt Lake, they were called to come here and settle this place and to live at Fort Utah, which is right here in Provo. It's a wonderful place. There used to be a fort here when I was a kid. It's not here anymore. The Provo River is just right over there. They settled it next to the Provo River. There was lots of Indians in the area, so it was actually quite dangerous. So Daniel Vincent, he left Liverpool in 1841 and traveled here, got to the States. He met later his future wife, Marion Ellen Park. Now her story is quite interesting too. She was born in Upper Canada, Warwick, Kent, Canada is where she was born. And she also joined the church with her family. Her mom and dad had 10 kids. She was one of 10. And at 2 years old, she traveled across the plains in one of the wagon train companies. Their father was called to join the Mormon battalion, and he was not able to go with them across the plains. Mom had to bring all the kids with a team of oxen by herself across the plains. They were also settled in Salt Lake and called to settle here in Fort Utah Park at Provo. That's where she ended up meeting Daniel Vincent. And they got married, had kids. They ended up moving about just a few miles from here, where my grandfather grew up down by the airport, and they built a house down there, and they had 3 daughters, one of which was my mother. And so this is a special place for me, and it's really cool to know that my ancestors, as well as ancestors on my wife's side, settled this area here, right here in Provo. They were some of the very first ever. And it makes me feel good because I don't know why, I've always been a hardcore Provo person, but love it and excited to share that with you. And until tomorrow, be safe.